Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Empire Builder. Lessons from my greatest mentor, my father. I'd like to start out by thanking everyone for all of your prayers, your messages, the flowers, the donations to St. Jude's Children's Hospital on behalf of my father who passed away last month. It's been a really challenging time for myself and for my family, and I'm sure for my work family, through adjustments and things that have come on board because of this unexpected thing. But deeply, deeply appreciate, and words cannot say from the outpouring of everybody from all different communities, and we as the Colonna family really appreciate you all. But let's get started on a more positive part of where, last month I got to give the hardest speech I've ever had to give at my dad's funeral mass. And I was sitting back thinking, what can I possibly say to help people understand what they meant to him and what he meant to myself and my family. So I wanted to start out by saying, you always have to take whatever is thrown at you in your life and do the best you can to fight through it. It happens for a reason, and be as positive as you possibly can. And I put together this because I really feel that I've learned some great things from my greatest mentor, my father, and I wanted to share with you how these can be applied to your life and your business and raising and building your empire with your family. So let's get started with tip number 1, okay? And please share this out if you get the opportunity, because I really think people need to know not only the tips I've learned from my father through my life, and but also that being a father myself and being, a head of a family, it's important because our children are always listening to our messages, and we always have to be at the top of our game, okay? So number 1 is nobody is born successful. My dad, we were growing up in Brooklyn. We started out in a 1-bedroom apartment. He was a postman. He drove car service. He worked in a paper factory before he got an entry-level position on Wall Street. And he taught me that nobody is born into success. Now, I know there's a few occasional people that inherit things and so forth, but good afternoon, Heather. Jason, thank you for watching. I appreciate your time. But you cannot, the majority of people, we're all born the same way, and we have to step it up, and we have to learn on how to take things to the next level, So I remembered him working multiple jobs, late nights, constantly out, trying to negotiate and network with people and teach them different things and learn from them. I mean, it never stopped. So you're not born successful, and it can happen. You can work your way up the ladder. My father never went to college, okay? He had a pure street education, high school education, and started and got a great opportunity and worked his butt off to move himself up to a senior VP on Wall Street. So anybody can do it. Number 2 would be to know your numbers. Ooh, we just had a little pop-up here. Let me get rid of this. Lost you for a second. I apologize on that. Hopefully we're still going. But number 2 is to know your numbers. Riding in the car, growing up, my father always sat there and was trying to test me. He wanted me to be faster than a calculator, and I will tell you, he was faster than a calculator. We would sit there and talk about percentages, multiplication, division, investment types, and these are the things we talked about in the car where we were driving to a baseball game, a basketball game, or wherever we were going. We were always working on different things, and he was always quizzing me. So it did seem annoying growing up, but it's led me to now where I am as close to a calculator as I possibly can. Not as fast as him, but it allows me to look at investments and help myself and people look at if things should be in the right direction. So number 2, that was number 2. Hi, Kimber, how are you? Thank you for joining us today. Number 3 was give more than you receive. He constantly gave to charities, different sports. He was very big at supporting an autistic children's home in Staten Island, New York, which we're going to be doing something in the fall for him, and in his name to give back to that group of boys and girls there. And you cannot underestimate giving. And I truly will believe, and I do believe, that the more you give, the more you will receive. And I mean truly giving with not expecting anything in return. So serving is another big part of that. So I would say number 4 would be on that, besides serving others, is to go all in. You cannot go in and not be 150%. I mean truly, inside and out. Live it every day as an example. These are the things that, we're trying to take to the next level, as far as, he would bring new hires to the house, and my mom would cook Sunday dinner for them. He would talk to them about skills and experience and things that he's learned and how to help them elevate their careers, how to better provide for their families. So that would be the 4th tip that I would say to you about teaching others the ropes. It is our opportunity, and I feel almost obligation to teach younger generations from our experience on what has worked. And I'm not saying it's a bulletproof plan, but you can take things to the next level in helping younger generations not almost eliminate mistakes, but help them deal with mistakes, because mistakes is how you grow. So good afternoon, Tony. Thank you for watching. And we were just talking today about the lessons I've learned from my greatest mentor, my father. So far, we've talked about 4 tips. Please share this out if you get an opportunity. And, I would close on this. The 5th tip that I would say was the biggest thing I learned from my father was leaving the future generations better off. Over the last 30 years, if you look at the research, future generations are being left in a worse financial position when you do take everything to account as far as inflation and debt and so forth. And that's something that should not be. Our goal is that each generation is getting better, is in a better situation to be successful for them and their families. So I can say I know that my sister and I are in a much better place because of my father and my mother and what they brought us up on, the values, but also financial knowledge and situations. So about leaving each generation, paying it forward to kids in school that are not learning these financial educations. That's really what it's all about. So, and I'm not saying to eliminate failure for children, because failure is the only way to grow, right? But it's teaching our future generations and how to deal with certain types of failure, whether it's in small business, whether it's in real estate, whatever it is that comes across in their life, to be better prepared to handle failure and deal with it and come out on the other end to be more successful. So, good afternoon, Melissa. Thank you for watching. And I appreciate everybody today watching on the 5 tips that I learned from my greatest mentor, my father. And again, thank you for all the flowers, the donations to St. Jude's, the messages, the phone calls. It's really meant a great deal to the entire Colonna family and me personally to have such a great community of followers. And I look forward to helping you and providing more for you in the future as we continue to grow our community. And I want you to go build your empire. So please share this out. And any questions, send me a message. But I want you guys to have a great one. Thank you so much. Take care.